Hello, everyone. In today's episode, we are going to talk about something very simple but very powerful: how to think in English. This is a problem that many learners have. Even if your life is busy, even if you feel shy, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, you can still learn to think in English step by step. Many people believe that they must move to the UK or the US to learn English well, but this is not true. You don't need to live in London. You don't need a native speaker next to you all the time. And you don't need to study for many hours every night. What you really need are small and smart steps. Steps that are easy to repeat every day. Steps that fit into your daily life. For example, speaking for 1 minute in the morning, listening while you're walking, or thinking in English when you are alone. These small habits may look simple, but over time they create real change. If you live in a country where people speak English every day, you will hear it often. You will use it often. So slowly, English becomes part of your thinking. You don't need to translate anymore. When you want to say something, the sentence comes directly in English. But for most people, this is not their situation. Most learners live in places where English is not used every day. This may be your situation too. Maybe you study by yourself. Maybe you only use English when you watch videos or read something online. And when you try to speak, you feel slow. You think in your language first. Then you try to change it into English. This takes time. And sometimes your sentence sounds strange because English has a different structure. For example, in your language, you may say something like, "I very like this." But in English, we say, "I really like this." This is why translating in your head can make speaking difficult and unnatural. Let me tell you the real problem. You are not slow because your English is bad. You are slow because you are translating. Your brain is trying to do two things at the same time. First, you think in your own language. Then you try to change it into English. This takes time. And while you are thinking, the conversation is already moving. That is why you feel nervous. That is why you stop. Think about this. Someone asks you a simple question like, "What did you do today?" You understand it, but before you answer, your brain goes back to your language first. Then you try to build the English sentence, and in that moment, you feel stuck. This is not because you are not good. It is because your brain is working too hard. But here is the good news. When you stop translating, everything becomes faster and easier. You can train your brain to think directly in English. You don't need a special talent. You just need practice and a simple method. And today, I will show you how to do that. Let's begin with one of the most powerful techniques: shadowing. Shadowing is a simple but very effective way to improve both your listening and your speaking at the same time. Here's how it works. You listen to someone speaking English, like a podcast, a video, or even this audio. Then you repeat what you hear. You don't stop to think. You don't translate. You don't check the dictionary. You just listen and repeat like an echo. Try to copy not only the words, but also the sound, the speed, and the rhythm. This is very important because English is not just words. It has a flow. Let's try together. I want to speak English fluently. I listen to English every day. Shadowing helps me think and speak better. That is shadowing. At first, it may feel strange. You may feel like you are speaking too fast. You may not understand every word, but that is okay. Shadowing is not about understanding everything. It is about training your brain and your mouth to work together. Think about music. When you learn a song, you don't understand every word at first, but you listen, you repeat, and slowly you can sing it. Language works in a similar way. If you practice shadowing every day, even for 5 minutes, you will start to notice something. Your speaking becomes faster, your pronunciation becomes clearer, and your sentences start to feel more natural. This is because your brain is getting used to English patterns. Now let's come back to the main question: how to think in English. Many students say, "I don't have time," or "I feel nervous," or "I don't know how to start." The answer is simple. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to begin. Start with small thoughts. Instead of translating full sentences, think in simple ideas. For example, "It's morning. I feel sleepy. I need coffee. When you walk outside, the sky is blue. I see a dog." These simple thoughts help your brain connect directly to English. Later, you can say them out loud. You can whisper or speak quietly. It may feel strange, but it works. Start small. Look around you and name things: phone, table, chair, window. After some time, words come automatically. Then add actions. I open the door. I drink water. Now your thinking becomes active. Now let's move to the next level: thinking in conversation. Imagine someone asks you, "What did you do yesterday?" You answer in your mind, "I worked. Then I went home." This prepares you for real conversations. If you don't know a word, explain it differently. For example, "The thing I use to count numbers." This keeps your brain in English. Now, tip number 2. Use English in daily life. Don't just study English, live with English. When you get dressed, "I wear my shoes." When you cook, "I cut vegetables." When you use your phone, "I check my messages." You don't need extra time. You use your normal day. You can also think in different tenses. Morning, I will go to work. Night, I worked today. Now your brain learns real language patterns. Tip number 3, immerse yourself in English. Listen every day. Even if you understand only 30%, it still helps. Your brain is learning. Over time, you will understand without translating. Tip number 4, speak out loud. Speaking is a physical skill. You must use your voice. Read simple sentences. Repeat them. Add emotion. I am happy to see you. Say it like you mean it. Repeat sentences many times. This builds fluency. Tip number 5, change small habits. Set your phone to English. Write a short daily diary. Today I worked. I felt tired. Watch short videos. Repeat sentences. These small actions create big results over time. Now let's make it simple. You don't need more time. You just need better habits. Use English in your daily life. Think in English. Speak in English. And slowly, you will stop translating. English will feel natural. But here is something important. This is not the final step. Because once you start thinking in English, a new challenge begins. You can think in English, but can you respond instantly? You can understand, but can you express emotions naturally? This is where most learners get stuck, and this is what we will fix next. In the next video, you will learn how to speak naturally without overthinking, how to respond faster, and how to sound confident. Because thinking in English is only the beginning. Fluency is the next level. And once you understand that, everything changes. So don't miss the next video, because that might be the moment your English finally feels easy. So now that you've started thinking in English and using it in your daily life, there is one more level most learners never reach. And this level is not about learning more words. It's about changing how you react in English. Because here's the truth. Fluent speakers don't build sentences step by step in their head. They respond instantly. Not perfectly, not grammatically perfect every time, but naturally. And that happens because their brain is trained to respond, not to construct. So how do you reach that level? You train your reactions. Let me explain. Right now, when someone speaks to you in English, your brain does this. Understand, translate, build sentence, speak. That's why you feel slow. But fluent speakers do this. Understand, respond. No translation, no long thinking, just response. So your goal now is not just to think in English. Your goal is to reduce the time between understanding and speaking. And here's how you can start. The first method is instant response practice. When you hear a simple question, answer immediately. Don't wait. Don't try to be perfect. For example, what is your favorite food? Just say, I like rice, or I like pizza. Keep it simple. Speed is more important than perfection. Train your brain to respond fast, not perfectly. The second method is reaction training with audio. When you watch a video or listen to someone speaking, pause after a question and answer it yourself. Even if your answer is short, even if it's not perfect. This builds real conversation speed. The third method is feeling-based speaking. Most learners focus only on words, but real communication is about feelings. Instead of thinking, what is the correct sentence? Think, what do I feel? For example, I'm tired. I'm excited. I'm confused. These are simple, but powerful. When you connect language with emotion, your brain responds faster, because feelings are natural. The fourth method is pattern repetition. Fluent speakers don't create every sentence from zero. They use patterns. For example, I want to, I need to, I'm going to. Repeat these patterns many times with different words. I want to learn. I want to sleep. I want to go outside. Now your brain doesn't need to think too much. It follows patterns. And that makes speaking faster. The fifth method is something most people ignore. Silence tolerance. Yes, silence. When you speak, it's okay to pause for 1 or 2 seconds. You don't need to fill every moment with words. Fluent speakers pause too, but they stay calm. If you panic during silence, your brain freezes. If you stay calm, your brain continues. So train yourself to be comfortable with small pauses. They are part of natural speaking. Now here's something important. At this stage, mistakes are not your problem. Overthinking is your problem. If you wait to be correct, you will always be slow. If you allow yourself to be simple, you will become fast. And speed creates confidence. Confidence creates fluency. Let's bring everything together. First, you trained your brain to think in English. Then, you started using English in your daily life. Now, you are training your brain to respond quickly and naturally. This is the full system. Not just learning, not just memorizing, but training your brain step by step. And if you follow this consistently, something powerful will happen. One day, you will notice it. You are speaking, and you are not thinking about grammar. You are not translating. You are just speaking. That is the moment everything changes. But there is still one final level. The level where you don't just speak English. You sound natural. You sound confident. You sound like yourself. And that is what we are going to unlock next. In the next video, you will learn how to sound natural in English conversations, how to avoid robotic speech, and how to speak with confidence and personality. Because fluency is not just about speaking, it's about how you sound when you speak. So if you've come this far, don't stop here. You're closer than you think. And the next step might be the one that finally makes everything click. See you in the next video.